Good news for the Kansas City Chiefs. Harrison Butker is returning to practice along with Hollywood Brown. Harrison Butker, they're definitely going to need him in the playoffs. Hell of a kicker, one of the most clutch kickers I've seen in a minute. So definitely a good sign for the Chiefs going forward. Now Hollywood Brown, I'm curious to see what he does with Pat Mahomes here, and I'm curious to see what he looks like when he's healthy. They definitely could use another weapon, and I feel like if he is somewhat healthy and looks like a decent version of Hollywood Brown, I feel like he could be very useful to the Chiefs heading into the playoffs. I feel like he could almost be like that sort of gadget weapon, kind of similar to Tony and kind of similar to what Xavier Worthy is right now. So another weapon for Mahomes never hurts, especially when you have arguably the greatest head coach of all time scheming plays every single week. I mean, come on. Like, if you're an opposing defense playing the Chiefs in the playoffs, Mahomes has so many different options and weapons. Hypothetically, if Brown is good to go for them in January and February, Hopkins, Worthy, Brown, Kelsey is going to turn up. You know that. And then Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. It's just kind of endless. And I'd say this is kind of bad news if you don't want the Chiefs to three-peat. We'll see what happens, man. It's early on, and we'll have to see if he is healthy and if he is good to go. But regardless, the Chiefs are getting two solid players back in their lineup. So very, very good news for them. Now this week, the Chiefs are playing against the Cleveland Browns. I expect another close, wacky game. I think it's definitely going to be an entertaining game, with the Chiefs' antics, black magic, complete fortune that they've had this year, mixed with Jameis Winston just chucking up go balls. Never a bad recipe for an entertaining game in the 1 o'clock window for a Sunday in December, in my opinion. I think it'll be a close game like every Chiefs game is. You let me know who you think is going to win. Do you think the Browns could upset them? I think that's very, very... But yeah, you let me know. And with the Bills losing to the Rams a week ago, that really locked up the first seed in the AFC for the Chiefs, unless they really kind of fumble the last 2-3 games here and the Steelers and the Bills keep winning. But the Steelers have a pretty tough matchup against the Eagles this week on the road, and the Bills, of course, are playing the Lions on the road as well. So it's very, very, very likely that the Chiefs will be locking up the first seed in the AFC to start the playoffs. So I kind of want to take a moment to look at potential matchups that the Chiefs might have to play in order to capture their third Super Bowl in a row. So let's really break it down and look at the hypothetical situations and matchups. So the first round of the playoffs, the Chiefs, of course, will have their bye. And right now, as of today, the Bills and the Broncos, the 2 and the 7 seed, slated to play. Then you have the Steelers, the Chargers, 3rd, 6th, 4th, 5th, Ravens. I do think the Bills will end up taking the 2nd seed in the AFC because they have to play the Patriots 2 more times in the next 4 weeks. And I feel like the AFC North is always a lot tighter when they play each other, and the Steelers and the Ravens have to play each other again. Along with that, they also play the Chiefs and the Bengals to finish the year. So kind of a hard schedule for Pittsburgh. So I definitely expect them to be the 3rd seed in the AFC. Now, Texans-Ravens, I feel like the Texans are definitely a lock for the 4th seed as well. I feel like the only kind of swapping that teams might do in the AFC playoff picture are really the 7th seed to the 5th seed. Who knows, maybe the Broncos might jump up and play the Steelers round 1, or the Ravens might fall to number 7. But regardless, I don't think it'll matter too much. I really think round 1, the Bills and the Steelers will be advancing no matter what. Now, I feel like whoever plays the Texans has a pretty good chance to play upset. But then again, we all know it's going to be that early Saturday game window for the Texans. And I feel like they've been pretty successful in that window over the years. So Who knows? Maybe all the favorites will win, and I feel like that's probably the most likely scenario. So if all the favorites win, Bills, Steelers, Texans in round 1, the Chiefs would be playing the Texans in Arrowhead, and that's a great matchup for Kansas City. And it's also a matchup that we're going to get in week 16 on Saturday at 1 o'clock. So definitely a good measuring stick game there for sure. But everything I've seen from the Texans so far has been kind of underwhelming. CJ Stroud has really taken a back seat compared to how he was his rookie year. The sophomore slump is a very, very real thing, and I definitely have the Chiefs winning that game. And, you know, out of the 3 teams that are probably going to advance in the first seed of the AFC, Bills, Steelers, Texans, you definitely want to play the Texans out of those 3 teams. Definitely the easiest matchup in my opinion. Now, Bills, Steelers, that would be a crazy round 2 matchup. Very competitive. It would be in Buffalo if the Bills do end up being the number 2 seed. So definitely hostile environment, crazy environment there. And I really think the Bills would beat the Steelers in probably a close game. But yeah, man, round 2, definitely have the Chiefs over the Texans and the Bills over the Steelers. And there we have it. Round 3, AFC Championship. We all knew it was coming, and it will happen. It definitely will happen. I think Josh Allen has definitely been at an MVP level since week 1, in my opinion, and it's just bound to happen for them to meet again, and we're going to see it. We're definitely going to see it. Chiefs, Bills, AFC Championship, and it's going to be in Arrowhead. Of course, the only L the Chiefs have taken this year has been against the Bills in Buffalo, so the fact that they have to go to Arrowhead is definitely a big advantage for the Chiefs. And, you know, the Bills have never beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs, but who knows, man, it could be the year. There's actually been a narrative this year of Josh Allen surpassing Patrick Mahomes this year, just based on skill level and where they're at in their careers. And I think that's a very interesting take. I don't know if I'd go that far just yet. I think I'd have to see another year or 2 of Josh Allen play at this level for me to really go that far, but I think it's a very interesting take. And you know what, man? To all the people that believe that Josh Allen has overtaken Pat Mahomes as, you know, the QB1 of the entire world, I'll tell you what, if he goes into Arrowhead and beats Mahomes for the first time ever in the playoffs, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true, and especially if he goes and wins the Super Bowl against probably the Detroit Lions, might be 100% true. I don't know. Regardless, I think we're going to be in for a very, very big treat during the final stretch of this regular season, and especially the playoffs. You let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win in the first round of the playoffs, and who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Chiefs, Bills, we'll have to find out, man. Super excited. And if you made this far, please subscribe. Help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.